living in apartments as compared to living in a house or whatever. Apartment living is very similar to dorm style living, I'd say. And since I've been a grown like adult or whatever, I guess I've been in either of the two situations, either dormitory living or apartment living, and a couple of times in there where I've rented a house with a couple of other mates, a couple of other peers. I've been saying mates because I'm watching a lot of UK stuff, so yeah, there is that. Just as I'm now calling chores duties. So I'm really addicted to this show called World's Toughest Parents. And if you haven't seen it, then you should definitely search out for it yourself and take a look at it. But sidebar over, and let's talk about apartment living. And again, I think it's dope. Like, okay, so my roommate and I have this deal going, right? Where I guess like for the past, I don't know, maybe a long time, many, many, many years, I've always played a game with myself to not know like where the mailbox is, right? For example, it's one of the games that I've created to pass the time in apartment living. And so I know where the mailboxes are, but I've never checked our mail because my roommate does that. Okay, so that's his deal. My deal is that I'll take out the garbage whenever it needs to be taken out. So we agree. He's got mail. I got garbage. I think it's cool because there are like places for these things, which is really cool. So like mail or whatever, right? There's like typically like a mail room or like a wall of mail boxes, which is pretty cool. Sort of like my favorite. And I know this is like super nerdy geek talk, but I tell you, I absolutely mean it because when I lived in the student residence center, the dormitories over at UNM on campus, the SRC Commons, right? The Student Residence Center Commons building was where all of our mailboxes were. And this was like the highlight of my week was going to check the mail to see, what I got, if I got anything. And I just remember that specific exchange and like I'd get to like meet, people around other students also getting their mail that lived on campus or whatever. And that was pretty cool. And so I think the like option, like the fact that you can like just talk to somebody while you're getting your mail, I think that's really cool. I mean, it's not like it's very sociable. That's why I like apartments, is that there's like a common area where people can just like chill. Sometimes depending on the place, there's different kinds of amenities, a little weight room, a little coffee room, right? And again, I like weights, I like coffee. I think these are all really cool things. I don't have a dog. I like dogs, but if I did have a dog, there's like a dog park, I like apartments. I do, because of all the people around, I'd say, and the diversity, right, of all the people around. Everybody's got something going on, or not, or just a variety of different things happening all at once. I know that I love to go out and scavenge, like honestly, like this morning I took out the trash and found like all of this, like all these really, really cool items, some of which I'll be given to like my little niece. And then I have a little girl cousin that we give little toys to and stuff. So that should be exciting. But we found a bunch of cool stuff I did, and I brought it up. My roommate and I sorted through it, and I'm very excited about our new hoard, as it would be. I found this mannequin head in a box, and I know that sounds odd, but I think his name is Chase or something. They're named like it's a professional mannequin head with a name. It's pretty cool. And it's on the box and it's not used, and we're gonna have to sell that thing because it's pretty cool. And I like finding stuff and then selling it, especially if it's in like super good shape and somebody will want it, then I'm like, oh heck yeah, that's cool. And so that's what I got going on, is listing some stuff. But again, all of those things happen because of the apartment, like all the different things that people leave, um, to like give away to the neighbors because they'll like leave it outside of the dumpster, or they'll leave it, in the common room or whatever. So this includes anything from like books and magazine literature, all the way up to, like food, sometimes like hot food, like good food. So again, I'm about the apartment lifestyle. I like the pool setup, something that I actually had not liked up until just this year, which was like 2 years too late for me in terms of like the last girl I wanted to date had really always wanted to swim in our pool, but I just never really wanted to. I guess, yeah. Anyways, so apartment living can be cool. Oftentimes apartments are next to a bunch of cool stuff. I know that where we're at, we are in fact nearby to a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Be that retail or like shopping malls or food. It's just a really cool little area. And so, yeah, I like apartments. I don't know if y'all have ever lived in apartments, or if you do, or if you've just ever lived in apartments, or if you have lived in a house and now it's an apartment. But I tell you, from obviously the perspective is this: I think that living in a house gives you a little bit more space, obviously, like in terms of like the exterior of the joint. So like, a backyard, a little side yard, a little porch, a little front yard, whatever, maybe garage, which is different though than shared space in an apartment because everything's connected together. Which again, pros and cons. Like, I wouldn't say honestly now that I'm biased on either front, just because I enjoy things about both of them that I can't get from the either. And the biggest about apartments is the people, and that's very valuable to me. I like being around people, so I think living in an apartment is way appropriate, especially right now, because again, I like people, which is what I miss about being in bigger cities and bigger places, is that the dense population offers for that sort of option. And yeah,